Now at 6:30, charges are dropped against a Knox County bus driver after two students brought guns to school.
A Lexington woman is attacked in her home by a man armed with a gun. Police say it is a very unusual case because the attacker met the woman online months ago.
A Kentucky man is making national headlines after being arrested for shooting down a drone over his property.
It looks pretty good outside this morning. It's going to be a beautiful Friday. And then we head towards your weekend. What's that look like? I'll have that coming up next.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning and welcome into you. Hope you're having a fabulous start to your Friday. I'm Rebecca Smith. We are looking at some really nice weather to get us out of July and into August and into the weekend. Let's check in now with Micah.
Yeah, not just one really, but three reallys. Really nice weekend, man. It looks fantastic out there with sunny skies. Takes you off towards your weekend, and we'll hold on to those sunny skies. And I just don't see any chance of rain until next week. I mean, we have some time. We got a lot of festivals going on and also some fairs. Good shot there out and about with those clear skies. Temperatures are in the 50s and 60s. Very nice feel this morning. Monticello, you're 57 degrees. Stearns, Whitley City, beautiful this morning along with Williamsburg. Today's forecast, we're at 86. It's a very nice day, but the weekend does get slightly warmer. And typically when you get slightly warmer, you start to see a little bit moisture creep in with maybe a rain chance. So I'll show you that in your weekend. Maybe keeping the rain on out. Maybe not. I'll have that coming up in a few minutes.
Well, new this morning, there were some scary moments for a Lexington woman. Police say a man she met online showed up to her Sutherland Drive home overnight armed with a gun. WKYT's Mark Barber has details on how she was able to fight off her attacker.
Good morning, Rebecca. Police say this really is a strange case. A man meets a woman on a dating website, doesn't see her for 2 to 3 months, and then shows up at her house with a gun and attacks her. Officers say that the unusual case played out around 3 o'clock this morning here on Sutherland Drive when the man showed up at the woman's door. Officers tell us the man was armed with the gun and forced his way inside her house. According to police, the woman fought back when he started pushing her around. We're told one of his hands was injured, so he was wearing a brace. So the woman was able to grab the gun away from him and toss it out a window. She locked him out and called police when he ran outside to get the gun. The woman was hit in the head during the struggle, but police say fortunately she was not seriously hurt. Investigators tell us that when they got here, they found the attacker in a neighboring home. They say he knew the person who lived there and was trying to hide from them. The man has been arrested, but we do not know his name yet. He isn't telling investigators who he is, and the woman doesn't know his name either because she hasn't seen him since May. Officers say they are hoping to figure out who he is when they run his fingerprints at the jail. Now the man is facing several charges, including first-degree burglary as well as the possession of a stolen gun. Live in Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
All right, thanks so much, Mark. A Lexington man is in jail accused of raping a 14-year-old girl. New on WKYT this morning, police say 43-year-old William Owings sent the teen a sexually explicit cell phone message. Court records go on to say that Owings had sex with the girl 8 times. He will be arraigned on rape charges today. A judge has dismissed a charge against a Knox County bus driver who was accused of not telling school officials that 2 boys had guns in their backpacks. The judge ruled there was a lack of criminal intent by Charles Hans. He was charged with facilitation to unlawfully possess a weapon on school property. In April, police say 2 Knox County students ages 6 and 7 brought guns to school thinking they were toys. Well, a man accused of forcefully tattooing a vulgar word on his girlfriend has pleaded guilty. New this morning, the Anderson News reports Michael Joseph pleaded guilty to assault and terroristic threatening. He also entered an Alford plea for wanton endangerment. A judge ordered Joseph to pay $1,000 to have the tattoo removed. Police say he held the victim at gunpoint before assaulting her. Well, happening today, the owner of several dogs involved in a violent attack in Lincoln County will be in court later today in Lexington. Christopher Pope was arrested this week in Boyle County. WKYT's Michelle Chamberlain is at our live desk to explain what charges Pope is facing.
Hi, Rebecca. Yeah, Pope will be in court today on charges of trafficking in a controlled substance and being a persistent felony offender. Today's scheduled hearing in Lexington stems from a 2014 case. Pope's 7 dogs attacked Loretta Stevens earlier this week in Lincoln County. He was keeping the dogs behind a nearby home that was unoccupied. Pope is charged with harboring a vicious animal and animal cruelty. Loretta told us she is thankful for the people that have been taking care of her since the attack on Monday. Her lawyers are advising that she not speak about the attack itself, but she did tell us that she has several surgeries planned, including skin grafts, and that she is in obvious pain.
Hurt real bad. Hurt real bad. I need to go in and lay down. I hurt real bad. My mom's taking care of me.
6 of the dogs in the attack are now at the Lincoln County Animal Shelter. The 7th was shot and killed. At the live desk, Michelle Chamberlain, WKYT.
Well, the plan to move the Fayette County Office of Probation and Parole could be headed to court. The state wants to move the office from downtown to a building near the Palomar Center. Many people who live and work off Harrodsburg Road are not happy about this. An attorney has now sent a letter to the city and state asking for a stop work order until the public is involved in the process.
It's ridiculous. I mean, you've got, I don't know how many kids in the subdivision that always walk across to Orange Leaf and McDonald's and Walmart. Would you let your kids walk past a parole office?
We reached out to a spokesperson with Kentucky's Justice and Public Safety Cabinet. Our calls were not returned. We are tracking a crime alert after a shooting near Lexington Park. Police got several calls about shots fired near Kirk-Levington Park last night, but they did not find a victim. About 20 minutes later, a man who had been shot showed up at the hospital. Police say he's not cooperating with their investigation. A Lexington church is holding a town hall meeting to discuss crime in the city. Total Grace Baptist Church will hold the meeting tonight at 6:30. The church is encouraging people to stand together, as they call it. They also want to create a bond between the community and law enforcement. Well, a Kentucky man's been arrested for shooting down a drone. He says it was done over his property, so he chose to shoot it to protect his privacy. Katie Bauer has more.
Along Early Wood Way in Bullitt County, neighbors couldn't ignore a certain buzz Sunday evening.
What is that? Then you see this thing fly by.
Cindy Diebold said for the first time in person, she saw a drone and what looked like a camera on board.
What in the world are they looking for?
She wasn't the only one on this block concerned about the tiny unmanned aircraft. So was William Meredith, especially when he says it stopped to hover over his fenced-in backyard where his 2 daughters were sitting outside.
You know, wanted to see if it was going to stay there, and it did, and then I reacted.
Meredith said he went and got his 12-gauge shotgun and took matters into his own hands.
They had it low enough that he hit it.
It's an invasion of privacy. We were in our own yard. Had he been flying around and never stopped over my house, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
So are there rules for drones? The FAA strongly encourages those flying for hobby or recreation to follow certain safety guidelines. Some include fly below 400 feet, keep the aircraft within your sight at all times, and do not fly near people. But a spokesperson tells us it would be up to the law enforcement agencies to enforce. After Meredith shot down the drone, he was approached by 4 men.
Was I the guy that did it? And I said absolutely, and the 4 of them started this way, and I let them know that I would defend my property.
So they called police, and that's when Meredith was arrested for wanton endangerment and criminal mischief.
We live in a society now where we don't know what these people are doing. We don't know if they're pedophiles looking for kids. We don't know if they're thieves. We don't know if it's ISIS.
Meredith stands behind his actions, and he's not alone.
You know, I felt like my privacy was invaded, and I felt like he was protecting all of our rights at that point, so I don't think he should be charged with that at all.
All right, so quite a topic for debate there. I'm sure we'll get a lot of folks talking. Well, police have arrested a man who they say injured them on a chase that injured a state trooper. Basil Gilpin was arrested in Tennessee on Sunday. They say he tried to hit state troopers with his truck at a Bell County safety checkpoint. Police chased him, and when his truck got stuck, Gilpin ran off. During the chase, police say trooper Josh Messer broke his leg. An important deadline is quickly approaching in the future of the Centrepointe project in downtown Lexington. In April, the city demanded developer Dudley Webb fill in the block. Attorneys for both sides fired off letters. In May, the city agreed to back off for 90 days to allow a development group time to look over the project. That 90-day period ends Monday. Mayor Jim Gray told us he can't speak specifically about where the project stands until after that deadline.
I can say that I've observed the project now for almost 8 years, and while it's been turbulent, while it's been challenging, that I'm optimistic today that every effort is being made to encourage this project going forward.
Dudley Webb says he has no comment while the 90-day period of talking to financing prospects is still in place. We're a little more than 3 months from Election Day, and a new poll shows a tight race for Kentucky governor. A WKYT Herald later Bluegrass Poll shows Democrat Attorney General Jack Conway slightly ahead of Republican businessman Matt Bevin. Conway leads in Louisville and most of central and eastern Kentucky. Bevin leads in the southwestern, west central, and northern parts of the state. We have more results from the Bluegrass Poll on WKYT.com. Well, Conway, Bevin, and many other politicians are arriving in western Kentucky today. Spicy barbecue and even hotter speeches will be served up tomorrow at the annual Fancy Farm Picnic. The state's biggest political event of the year will be hosted by Kentucky sports radio host Matt Jones. The Kentucky Lottery says despite falling sales for multi-state games, it produced record sales in fiscal year 2015. Total sales for the year were a little more than $899 million, which includes $12 million in free tickets. The number broke last year's mark of $858 million. Time now is 6:40 on this Friday morning. Let's get a check of traffic to see what is happening out there on the roads this morning with a look at live drive traffic. Here's a view of Versailles in Virginia. Things looking okay. And more news from WKYT this morning. We are just getting started. Thanks so much for joining us on this Friday. We're going to be enjoying some nice weather. Good news there. We'll move over a grumpy cat. There's a new disgruntled critter giving you a run for your money.
And about 30-45 minutes ago, we talked about this blue moon that you see off in the distance. I'll show you what that means, the actual blue part of it, because you can see it's not blue. I'll have that in your weekend forecast coming up.